think about me is none of my business.
Yeah.
And I think that that's like, whether you're an AA or not, I think that's such a good line. Because if you get too in the mud in the comments and you start even reading your own press clippings, we talk about this all the time, it can go to your ego or it can make you feel like shit. So I think having those blinders on is really important.
The way I think about it is like, I'd rather have everybody else hate me than me hate myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I can't imagine not being who I am at all times. Right? And I know that comes, I think people are delusional in thinking that everyone is always going to like them. Take politics aside. Like, I think like this idea that everyone's just always going to like you, that's just it's not the case, and you can't control how other people feel. But what I do think a tragedy in life is when you're going through life with this mask on, not being able to be who you are and be yourself and be in your own power. Like, to me, I wouldn't want to live that way. And so the choice is like, you have to be yourself, knowing that certain people are not going to like it, but you're going to find your people. The other choice is like, you try to placate everyone and you don't do it anyways. Right?
Well, I don't know why anybody would want to hang out with somebody that they can't be themselves around. Why would you want those friends? People say, I'm going to lose friends. Are those your friends? Like, if they don't respect what you believe, they might think differently. But if they legitimately don't respect how you feel or what you believe, is that really the people that you want to be around and so badly want to fit in with? For me, no. But for some people, I just don't think that they found that confidence yet. So that's something that I think a lot of, especially young women, need to work on.
I mean, I couldn't be in a marriage. I couldn't be in a friendship. I couldn't be. It's like I can't be myself. What's the point?
Yeah.
It feels like you're settling for shit. A day in the life. What's a day in your life? Like a normal day in your life when you're doing political commentation.
Yeah.
Is it commentation?
Commentary.
Commentary, excuse me.
But I like that word too. That's a good
I'm
one.
just making words. I make up words all the time.
Commentation.
If I was on the news, I'd get fired because I mispronounce everything. I would mispronounce everyone's name and I would make up words.
I like it though. I'm going to start using commentation. Okay. My life is actually pretty boring. I get up, I run, I get ready for work. I go and do my Outkick show. I write my radio commentaries. I record my radio commentaries. I write my show for the next day. Then usually my show will air, my Outkick show, and then I'll usually go up to the home studio and I'll do Hannity or I'll do Waters Primetime, and then I wash my face and go to bed. And then sometimes I do Fox and Friends first at 4:30 a.m. And it depends. Every day is kind of different, but it's pretty much the entire day is either doing radio commentaries or doing podcasting or doing the channel.
How do you look at your time? Like, for instance, when you're invited on this podcast, like, what's the funnel that you look through? Meaning, when someone asks me to do something, Michael and I talk about this a lot. I'm like, is it worth being away from my kids? I have to answer that question. I'll also answer, like, this is what I've been doing lately. I'll say, do I want to do it right now this second? So if someone invites me to an event and I don't want to do it right now this second, I say no. Like, how do you look at time management?
Yeah. I try to say yes to as many things as I possibly can, just because I think opportunities only come around sometimes once. And so I like to have different conversations, and I like a variety of conversations, and I pretty much go anywhere and do anything and talk to anybody. I mean, when you grow up in South Dakota, for me, I'll go do speeches for like law enforcement groups in the middle of nowhere. And for some people, they might not want to go be in like Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm fine going to Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's totally fine with me. I prefer it, to be honest. I like to be around people. I like to meet people. I like to go around the country and meet and talk with different people. That helps me grow. So I say yes to a lot of things. Now, I probably need to get better at it, to be honest, because I'll go to New York usually every other weekend. My husband is in Syracuse, where he is a baseball coach for the Mets AAA team. So I have to better balance my time and being like, I need to go see my husband this weekend. But then if I'm asked to do something in New York, then it's like, I'll be like, well, this is better for me and my career, but I have to get better. That is probably the area that I need to get better at, is prioritizing that part of my life, because I've been so career focused for 10 years.
Do you have a team that helps you? Like, do you have an assistant? Like, what's your team look like to do all this?
I do not have a team. I have producers that work on my Outkick show, and they do the producing. I write everything myself. I'm very OCD about that too. Nobody writes for me. So I write everything that I do is my voice and done in my style. And no, I don't really have. I have great people that help me out, obviously, at Fox and at Outkick.